Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to SpeedForce Racing. My name is JB, and we're here to start the season in GP2. Get it right, not GP4. Got that in my head somewhere wrong. But yes, we're here in GP2, and we've got the GP2 cars now on track after the mechanics have all repaired them from the GP2, GP3 crashes. We're all excited to see what the GP2 drivers can get up to and personal tonight. But I'm not alone. I am joined tonight by a first-time commentator for SFR. I'm going to bully him beyond belief. He better be ready. It's Collins from GP3. How are you doing, my friend?
I am doing very well. I'm a little bit worried about that statement you just made, but I'll probably get through it.
It's all right. I bully all the commentators. Yes, mate, you are currently in the SpeedForce system, actually, aren't you? You're in the system. So we saw you last night out in GP3. How was your Alfa Romeo, and do you think the Alfa Romeos tonight have got a good shot at a good result?
It's hard to say this early, but give it about Monaco, Spain time, then you'll have a clear question and
All
answer.
right. Well, before we do anything, let's run through the teams, because this year it's all changed. We have Mike Bundy and Fletcher Boy up in the top team, and Mercedes in the champions, so they completely changed their team apart from Bundy. Then in Ferrari, Zippo and Racer. In the Red Bull is Lienel and Smelly Badger. In the Renault, Gaming Things and Farfus. Gaming Things for the first time in a long time, stripping out his pink clothing for the yellow team. In the Haas should be me and Di, but I'm up here in commentary, so we have trying to remember who it is. Hello, Gaming. Let me have a look. It's Ganik. Yeah, Ganik, the where are you from? Croatian driver? Yeah, Croatian driver is taking my place for now. G. Jonas and Peter Solheim in the McLaren, and in the Racing Point is Kator and Twan. In the Alfa Romeo is Zorka and Fester, and in the Toro Rosso is Electro Dan and Gorkalas. In the Williams is Himkarl and Yarman. That's very seamlessly transitioned over to qualifying, isn't it?
Very.
See, I time everything here. Yeah, good luck, GP2. That's what we want. Well, GP2s have a good showing. I've got Hegloof here, who had a brilliant showing last night. So you raced in GP3 last night. It was a nice sunny day on Tuesday here at Albert Park. What did you do to prepare for the race? What do you think the GP2 drivers have done?
A lot more than possibly GP3, but GP2 has more experience than most of GP3, so we'll find out during qualifying what preparation they've done.
It definitely will, and in all of this, I'm going to find out what the fastest lap was in GP3 and have that on board to see. I like to do the comparisons, you see. So I like to see what GP2 do, what GP3 do, and then what Prem does, because, you know, Prem show off. Where are you? Australia, there we are. So, that's very different. Don't need that anymore. Don't need that anymore, because it is a wet qualifying session here. So the rain was held off for GP3, but now it's held on for it's come down in bucket loads for GP2. That is yeah, is the answer there, isn't it?
It's a little bit different than yesterday, but you know.
Even better, I've just been told on the radio from the Mercedes garage it's a dry race. So all of these guys are coming out on dry setups, that's it. And they're on intermediate tyres, and we can see just in Josh Fletcher Boy's garage just down there, sorry, that's the word. He's on intermediate tyres, he's actually coming out now. So you can now tell for a fact that these guys are going to be struggling through here, and now it's going to be a battle of attrition to who continues on through qualifying. As Zippo comes out on track. He's not the first though, it looks like there's a Renault down there at the end of the pit lane. Gaming Things looks like he's just leaving pit lane as well. I think Farfur was first on track.
Yeah, you just said about dry race. Yeah, but how many people have actually looked at and keeping wet setup on for qualifying but noticed that it's dry race?
That is a very fair shout, and that's something that some drivers always forget to do, is check the weather. That's always what I do. I get into the cockpit, I check the weather, and I yell at Jeff because he's told me that it's dry when it's clearly wet. Jeff and me have a bad relationship. So that's why I have Alan instead. But it's all an interesting concept of how many drivers are going to put their faith in thinking, okay, if I'm quick in qualifying, I can edit this setup vaguely to what I want in the dry. It's going to be frustrating. Already yellow flags in sector 1 and 2, so I think someone may have had an accident. Excuse me, I've got a coffee next to me today.
Cater spun before Pirelli Bridge.
Oh dear. Not a good debut for the new Strollback team of Racing Point.
Nope.
Interesting, says Stephen. Yes, it really is, mate. How's your Ferrari feeling in your practice? I know you've jumped from Renault. Never done Australia in the wet before. See, Australia has been a wet race for a while. We had it back in season 2. We had a fully wet race, and it was a battle to get the cars through, because back in the 2017 games, they did not want to drive in the wet. As Fester making a mistake on his outlap right now. So he has slowed down, but luckily he's able to get that car cleaned up and get it back up to race pace. And look at the rain coming down. This will really affect drivers coming into the first couple of corners, won't it?
There was another yellow for the Honda of Pedro, but he was known to let another car through for their final lap.
So slow through T1, 2 and 3. Big fighting oversteer for the Alfa Romeo of Fefster as he comes down towards T4. We love T4 here. And he gets it all turned in nicely. What are you oohing at? I want to know what you're oohing at.
TJ made a mistake coming out of last corner, and he was riding the grass to hinder his first flying lap.
So yes, the Season 3 champion, not averse to making mistakes in these situations. I think everyone's going to struggle. Remember, 2 weeks ago we saw TJ crown himself champion after a season-long battle with Lienel. Lienel now coming back with a vengeance, trying to get that championship back. But it'll be interesting to see as Fester makes a big mistake on his lap, cutting the grass where Carlos Sainz did back in his Renault days. And unfortunately, well, to be fair, he didn't make it that far in his McLaren days. So Zippo is now going to be the driver to set the first lap of the session, the 34 Ferrari.
DJ's hindered his lap. He's gone wide at turn 5 before the right-hand corners.
No DRS, obviously, in the wet as we pass our favourite driver sign. Hello! I like that driver sign. Coming up and through towards the second left-hander is Zippo, trying to get his Ferrari all turned in. Look at the slide of oversteer. The advantage Zippo has is he's on the wheel, but also the pad has got some extra grip on it that I've noticed at least. We're going to go on to Yarman straight after this, but Zippo coming up now onto the start-finish straight. DRS not active, but ERS pushing now. Fester, a 140.3. That's about to be demoted for a 133.0 from the newly crowned Mercedes driver of Fletcher Boy 77. Isn't it amazing that he's got 77 in his name, and look who won the first race of the season?
Yeah, a little bit of coincidence there.
Yarman has currently got the Best Helmet of Season 4 award, but Peder Solheim is in P1 at 132.9, and the same, and Yaran getting close as well.
Just watching Gamey come towards the end of his lap. He is currently in 12th position, and he does a 136.5 and goes up to 7th.
This is going to be really disconcerting for me for a while, because with gaming things, I've had to look at the pink chevron on the side for a long time, and now he's swapped to a different team. It's getting very awkward. Bundy now coming round. What's up?
I think most of the viewers will find it a little bit weird to find Gamey is in a Renault.
Crossing line is Mike Bundy. He can only manage 6th for this first wet lap. I know for a fact he despises the wet. Twan, who's joining me for the Premier, comes tomorrow. Crossing line P8 for the Norwegian driver.
TJ. He made a mistake.
That's a big crash. Underneath. That is a missing wing for the McLaren. Not going to be helpful for the... oh, Christ, what numbers are you running again? The 81 car, that's it. I just remembered that he asked me to get him a helmet done, and I didn't manage to get it done. Oops. The shop's been really full recently. Anyway.
It's not going to help TJ as well, because him and Gamey are separated by 14 seconds, but TJ did make a mistake on his first flying lap, though.
I think it's going to be interesting to see if the rain lets up towards the end of qualifying. We see Racer going a little bit wide at turn 5, and that's just down to he hit the grass on the outside. Now he's coming round the corner where TJ crashed. Ooh, ducky and diving. That Ferrari not happy. We're managing to keep it stably there. I've got a cappuccino today instead of a normal black coffee. Oh, he hits the wall. I've got a cappuccino today. I'm happy about the cappuccino.
Yeah, well, I'm just going to watch Racer coming through 7 and 8 to see how his rear end acts.
Not happy. That's what it is. That car is not happy.
If I think, to be honest though, if his car isn't happy in the wet, I think he needed to turn up his ballast up a little bit, but I don't know what he's running, so...
It'd be interesting to see, because obviously he's looking to be quick in the race versus less of a hindrance right now in qualifying. The thing is, this track is so difficult to pass at. It really should not be the season opener. He goes up into P13 as racer. It should not be the season opener. They should still do it at Bahrain, if you ask me. That track's bloody brilliant. There's no other word for it. And obviously we'll be seeing Bahrain happening in real Formula 1 in a few weeks. But for our SpeedForce racing circuit is going to overtake Formula 1 because we're going to Bahrain next week. Smelly Badger, the Red Bull driver, who graduated from Renault, so did a reverse reverse Daniel Ricciardo. He's now in Red Bull, swapping out through the Toro Rosso system. I just realised we only have one Toro Rosso tonight, don't we?
Yes, Mr.
Godcar, yeah.
Smelly Badger.
No, Smelly Badger did the Red Bull. Try again. Oh no, sorry, we do have two Toro Rossos. Oh, but Gannick, my replacement in the house, getting completely blocked by him, Carl, coming out of the pit lane. And Gannick's fast lap has just been ruined. Came out just with an absolute ton of traffic in front of him, and that was just a horrendous. It's very similar. Oh, they've rear-ended him. He's been rear-ended by him, Carl. Oh, come on. I'm going to be very similar. You saw him, Carl knew that he was on a fast lap, and he's just completely barrel-rolled into him.
Ooh, I saw one of the Renaults just go sideways for a second before the Pirelli bridge.
That will be Farfra, who's on a lap. Was a Season 3 contender, but unfortunately couldn't manage to convert it into a win for the championship. And now he's sat in Renault, swapping as well from Red Bull. So he did a straight swap with Smelly Badger for the Renault team and the Red Bull team. Very similar to, I guess it's because Renault agreed to keep SFR engines, keep the Red Bull supplied with Renault engines for one more year, didn't they? In SFR.
I'm just riding on board with Fletcher Boy. He's just come through turn 2, coming down turn 3. He's down into second gear, just gone up to third. Bit of a tank slapper going through.
Ooh, not happy. Yeah, that car's not happy, is it?
No.
It's a Mercedes, to be honest. They don't like the wet much.
True.
This is a Java car. We like it to all be exactly how we want it to be, and that is always in the dry.
Okay.
The accents to come out. What is this cappuccino doing to me? Yeah, we know Fletcher's actually running no assists now in his car, so he's going to fight it a lot more than, say, other drivers in this league. Now coming through 7 and 8.
The most dangerous chicanes in Formula 1.
Please, Eau Rouge. Eau Rouge running on. Oh! Catching a week right there.
Yep. If that didn't kill his time, I don't know what will.
I think, to be honest, his white suit is not white anymore.
Well, not the underbit.
No, but he's a little bit sweaty. Or is that water? I can't tell. But he's coming around. Currently starting P4. And Fletch, we know he's quick. He's in the Hall of Fame of SpeedForce winners. We saw last night, Primary Rex joining that Hall of Fame. Crossing the line, though, he does improve, but not by much. Not enough to catch up to Yarman. So let's go on board with Festa once more. I know we're seeing pretty much the same drivers each time. Actually, let's go down to Cattle. He's on a lap now. Is the Racing Point car, the 69 car. Coming through the left-handers now. Very different helmet for the pink car, but you know. Pedal Solheim getting a lap altogether, a 1:52.3.
Smelly Badger and Cater are just coming through to get their laps put in. Smelly Badger does a 1:35, and Cater does a 1:35.3, which already puts above Smelly Badger.
Puts him very close to his teammate Twan. Twan, the Dutch driver, all the way down in P15. He's looking to improve. Again, all the pressure of joining me on commentary, so if he does anything silly, I will bring it up tomorrow. Because I'm mean. But now you see, big slide there from Twan, trying to control his car. Crossing the line, now it's a slower lap, but it's going to be interesting to see how all these drivers do as we get towards the end of it. Gold Colours jumping up to P2 now. Can he go any higher on this lap? No, he can't. It's really interesting. to see these drivers. I think the rain's sort of easing up a bit now, isn't it?
Doesn't look like it, but to the drivers it possibly might be, but up in the booth I don't think it is.
Yeah, we got a new booth. If you don't know, we're sat right at the end of turn 1, so we're looking around at turn 1 and we can see everyone going through. And most often it's mostly the co-commentator I have with me opening and going, "Stop taking that line, I know it's a difficult line." That's why I had to glue the window shut.
If you didn't know, we're actually in the little Aston Martin lounge. That's why the seats are more comfy this season.
That is the perks of me being an ex-Red Bull driver right there. I went through the Red Bull system. I went from Toro Rosso. I went from Force India. That was what it was. Oh, there's been a crash! There's been a bigger crash now! Mike Bundy couldn't stop. He's crashed into the back of one of the Hasses that was stopped on track. I think it was Ganek. It was Ganek.
That is not good for Ganek because his time will be hindered.
Well, he's already got a broken wing, so I think he was sat there after spinning and couldn't get any power down. And now Mike Bundy is going to be... Luckily, I don't think there's any call for a stop and go, a place penalty for Bundy, and there's no flying carbon fibre. But there's going to be yelling, I think, from the Mercedes garage going, "What were you doing, Gunter?" And we've all seen what Gunter's like on that documentary. He's not a nice person. No, I like Gunter. He's my old boss. See, that's the jokes on everyone telling me not to roleplay this too much. And then as soon as I start telling a story, we see someone get rear-ended.
Sounds like a really dodgy film.
Well, that came later. I had to do something after I got fired. So Lee now still running season 3 helmet. I will get on board with him and try and get that helmet changed eventually. My shop has been pretty closed because I've been struggling to get helmets sorted because GT Sport helmets are better. But he's down in P10, and being a graduate of Red Bull, he wants to improve up to there, doesn't he? Big slide, obviously making it a promotion, but Red Bull only affording to be able to hire the 71 and 72 cars, which I find rather entertaining. What can Lee do? It really will be interesting. Obviously, we'll have Dr. Helmet Marco going. He needs to improve, and then he's going to go, "Oh, hold on, we've mucked up with Smelly's strategy. He didn't get to go out for another run." So you know. But Zippo all the way down in P15 against Ferrari, struggling this season. So that car's still struggling for the drivers at this point in time, especially in the wet. I mean, that car's never been good in the wet, has it?
No, it hasn't. I think Zippo was trying to recreate the real life Ferrari of being slow. Oh, Zippo's got a yellow flag ahead of him.
Yeah, someone pulled off. I think it was Smelly Badger, the Red Bull, getting out of the way of Zippo, the old person who left the Red Bull Academy at the end of Season 3. Seems really weird to say Season 4 now. Racer now with traffic. He's got Ganek in front of him who actually disconnected. Ganek is... Oh, okay. That is going to completely question everything. But Ganek, who was disconnected, suddenly went underneath. He went over the top of Racer. Thank God for the halo. But I'm not sure what's going on with Ganek and that. How's my connection, says Twan? You're looking all right now, mate. Where are you? I'm trying to remember what ping you're on because you're in different ones. Twan is in the racing point. He's in the garage right now. So you're looking all right now. I think the biggest one is actually Ganek in P18. But Diabush, who's in the Haas, was meant to be my teammate this season, but right now stuck up here because they broke my seat again. Well, no, it's a complete lie. I crashed in practice, so Ganek had to replace me because I have unfortunately gone and damaged my spine. Thank you, Alonso.
I'm currently watching Festa in P9. Coming through the first split, he was a second and a half down on his quickest time. I think he's given up on the lap to let Pedro through.
Yeah, Peder Solheim getting out of getting up into clear air now, and Racer is the first retirement, and it's a Ferrari, and a second retirement possibly. No, Zippo, that Ferrari incredibly strong, able to control it, but that is Zippo out of qualifying here in Australia due to that damage on his nose. Ferrari's day going from bad to worse. Here's Gaming Thing starting his lap with normal white, blue, and maroon Or Scarlet. I think it's more Scarlet actually on the top of his helmet. So yes, GP2 delivering as it always does here. And the laps are ticking down. These are the last few laps of qualifying here. It's him, Carl, the 99 Williams. We've seen a few of those recently. And here's Lee now, runner-up last season in the Aston Martin Red Bull, promoted from Scuderia Toro Rosso, now up into playing with his new Aston Martin. He was very happy when he got the call to go up there. And now he gets it all turned in. DRS not open because we're in the wet. Riding up and seeing if he can beat his initial time. He cannot beat his time, I think. Oh, unless he just started a lap. He possibly was starting a lap. But here's Dye. He's just started a lap as well, down in P14. Right now, Toro Rosso up there with second and third. Gold Colours in third place after starting the qualifying session pretty well. Where's Fletcher Boy? Fletcher Boy skimming the wall. I think his car's okay. He's coming through. He's going to try and improve on his time. He's coming through 7 and 8. Is this car going to be happy? He's got to power through as if it was in the dry. He's got it all right. A little bit wayward on the exit, but it's okay. Qualifying is now over and Zippo is already out. Gold Colours into P1. Lee. What's your name? Fletcher Boy makes a mistake. But Gold Colours currently sat in P1 of the session. Where's Peter Solheim? He's in the midpoint of Sector 2. Electro Dan, Mike Bundy usually in P4, Electro Dan right behind it. Lee now retiring in P12. I think that's enough of Lee. He can't improve. Him, Carl, is in P11, and now we're looking towards the end of it. Here comes Peter Solheim, the 69 McLaren, coming up the final corner. Teammates with his fellow Norwegian driver getting it all wrong. Peter Solheim in the wall on the end of qualifying, still sliding. Electro Dan crossing the line.
As well.
P3. Yarman into P1 though.
Smelly hit the wall on his current lap. He isn't going to improve now.
T. Jonas, Season 3 champion, defending champion, looking to make a quick buck to get up there. He's pushed his McLaren to the absolute limits. The engine will not fail. He's not going to be on pole position. He's going to be in P8 because he couldn't improve on his time. Where's Farfra?
I'm watching P16 of Ganek. He might improve. I'm not sure yet. See how he comes out of the last corner. Looks pretty stable. Is he going to have a good run on the exit? Yes. What is his time going to be?
Wait, where's Ganek for you,
13th
mate?
for 134.0.
Okay, so it seems I'm disconnected from Ganek. Okay, that's brilliant, because Ganek for me has only just come through the fast chicane. Exactly what you want on the first stream of the season. Here's him, Carl. Smelly Badger in the Red Bull, trying to get it turned in, but he's abandoned his lap too. So our pole sitter is Yarman in the Williams, currently sat in P1. He is now going to be on pole for the Australian Grand Prix here in GP2 Season 4.
Bit early, Smelly Badger. You're supposed to come through the pit entry line.
So second in line, the Williams, the 26 car, is our pole sitter, and he's looking incredibly fast. I mean, there's doubts whether he's going to be moved up into another division. Nothing being confirmed from the drivers. We've got to give drivers chances, and I think we'll see the chance of him in this race. See how much he wins by. Just waiting on Smelly Badger to retire his car.
Yeah, look at the gap between first and second. It's only 0.005
yeah.
second.
It's very, very close together.
You cannot get close, or you can get closer, but that's probably the closest we're going to see them to all race.
I've got people saying lag, but still, here is the... Wow, look how close that really is. Yarman is on P1, and by 4/10,000ths of a second is ahead of Gold Colours in P2. Peter Solheim in P3, and Electro Dan in P4. Mike Bundy is in P5, and Farfborough is in P6. Fletcher Boy is in P7. T. Johnson is in P8, and Racer 555 is in P9. Fefster in P10. We'll go through the rest of the grid as we go on to the formation lap. Gave me things saying he was 3 seconds up, but then he ruined it in the final sector. People putting faces in the chat already, but they are all obviously reminded not to message in the chat during the race. I think they've just been reminded. Let me just check. Yes, they have. Okay, so it's dry now.
This is a very weird transition.
It's always interesting in SpeedForce. So we got all the tractors out that normally sweep the track. So they have tractors when they have marshals out with brooms, right? And they put concrete dust on like oil leaks, but then they'll send a tractor around with a big brush to brush the track as well, just to be sure. We've sent them
Yes.
all out to clear the track, and we got the big wind machine out to get rid of all of the rain. So yeah, then again, it is Australia, so.
Well, if it was Australia, if they needed some water to go, they'll just get the sun out. Easy.
Yeah, but we got the cars back.
True.
All right, so on to qualifying now. So, Yarman is in P1 and Golko is in P2, Peter Solheim in P3 and Electrodan in P4, Mike Bundy is in P5 and Farfbrett is in P6, Fletcher Boy is in P7, G. Jonas, Season 3 champion, is in P8. Racer 555 is in P9 and Fester is in P10. These are the drivers that qualified on the tyres they did in the top 10. Now, these drivers outside of the top 10, starting with Himkarl, have got 3 tyre choice. Himkarl in P11, and I completely talking rubbish. So they all qualified in the wet, didn't they? So they've all got 3 tyre choice. Linnell in P12. Ganek is in P30, but he's sat on the grid for me, so we'll try and ignore him throughout the session. Twan is in P14, Diaboost is in P15, and Zippo is in P16. Smitty Manager is in P17, but he's been disqualified, and Cator is in P18. Gaming things bringing up the rear in P19.
I've just been looking through the tyre choices, what everybody's got. In 6th, 15th, and 18th, they're all got soft.
It will be interesting to see how far they can go.
2nd, 7th, and 12th have ultras, and everyone else has the super softs.
It will be really interesting. Last night we saw the GP3 drivers. I'd be interested to see whether any of these gentlemen have got in their cars, looked at the GP3 drivers, and learnt from what they did in strategy-wise. But then again, the weather's played absolute havoc in that, so we'll see drivers just going for a straight race here. The possibility of a safety car is high. We had one last night, and we had a graveyard of cars in turns 7 and 8. This is going to be really, really interesting as we go on to the first race of Season 4. I'm so excited. I'm almost happy that I'm up here in comms box rather than down there in the car. Curse you, Gunter, you gave me a terrible wheel enough and it fell off and hit me in the head. Just insulting Guntersteiner as you do. You know, but the normal things on commentary.
You know, you can say anything unless it's in reason.
So, just looking at Yarman as he pulls in, I really like Yarman's helmet. That's a really cool way of doing a Williams helmet. But as the drivers all line up to take the start, it's going to get so interesting as we get towards lights out. Pick a driver in the top 10, mate. You can go pick a driver anywhere on the grid and you can have a look at them. I'll take us through what's happening at the top of the field. We go to lights out here. There are lights on. Up to 5 red lights here in Australia. The lights are out and the drivers are away now.
And
it's a brilliant start from Ganek in the back. Jump start from Gaming Things. Contact in the back. Linnell sent off. Sorry, Smelly Badger sent off. Now into T1, God Colours passing Yarman, but Yarman round the outside trying to get more grip ahead of him. And they are going side by side. Peter Solheim hunting down afterwards. Shards of leaves being sent up. Peter Solheim to the inside, going for the lead. 3 wide in turn 4. There is contact. And now Peter Solheim has dropped down to P3 and God Colours into P1. Now he'll run away from it. But there comes Electro Dan, the other Toro Rosso, trying to get through on the McLaren. And everyone's sliding through. Renault going wide in the background. That was faster.
Dust in the back.
Cator sent round. Fletcher Boy, there's contact. Fletcher Boy somewhere. He's lost the position to Himkarl. Yellow flags galore right now here in Australia. Zippo down to P16. Down the inside is the number. I don't know what number that was, but it was Linnell by the looks of it. Fighting against T. Jonas. These two resuming their old battle. And everyone's sliding through as they try and get through. Farfner losing a position to Mike Bundy on lap 1 into the fast chicane. What an aggressive move from Bundy, wanting to make up for the bad qualifying for the Mercedes team.
Come on, guys, get through this safely. We don't want a safety car first lap.
Down the inside comes Josh Fletcher on Himkarl, locking up on the inside, and he has made the move stick.
Gamey going side by side by Bushi.
Boosh,
and he's got the move stuck.
Yeah, Boosh getting knocked out. And the Haas team seems to be struggling here. Hopefully the wheel nuts will stay on. Now Lee now losing a position, fighting with T. Jonas. T. Jonas getting on the slide. We've seen this battle before, but in different cars.
little fact,
Whoa!
Gamey
T. Jonas
started last.
aggressively trying to get through T1. Do excuse me, my friend.
Oh, three early pitters, Vesper, Ganic, and Cater, that all come in for. Vesper's gone on the softs.
Petter Solheim, something's happening with Petter Solheim. He's had an incident and he's dropped to P5. He has been passed.
All the back three are going soft, apart from Kator, who's gone on the super soft.
Hold on. Yeah, I am disconnected to Ganic, so excuse that. It will keep going red every lap or so, but Ganic is not in P1. We cannot tell what Ganic is except for if we ask Colvin's next to me.
Ganic is P18, by the way, guys.
The issue is there. I keep losing time, so I don't know who to look at. Lee now trying to go around the outside of Himcar. Himcar boxed him into the wall. Lee will not be happy there as a Williams driver. Probably yelling something about wanting to say in commentary, but you know. Now he's under pressure. Aggressively to the inside is Lee now making a move. Still can't get past the Williams. And again, T. John is getting closer and closer. And then there's Twan getting out of the way. Contact between the Williams and the Red Bull. Williams still trying to defend on all his work. And Lee swiping his way around the outside going, I've had enough of you. I'm done. And now Himcar boxing in T. Jonas. There's just action all over the shop. T. Jonas making a big mistake. Running into the side of Gamey Things. Gamey Things on the drag run trying to get past him.
One of the Gamey or TJ has lost their front wing, so one of them is going to have less downforce than
Down the inside goes Twan, the contact there! Gamey Things catching it though, and Daibu slipping through into P12, and there's Zippo just going round the outside of Twan as well. Twan seems to be struggling on traction.
Outside, pushes Zippo a little bit out to the curb.
These guys are absolutely fighting, and they're fighting for peanuts. These guys are fighting for what, P16? Oh, they made a mistake! Renault in the wall! That was Gamey Things hitting the wall. No nose on that car whatsoever. And then back to seeing Ganic into P1. Oh, big lag from Gamey Things.
Yeah, I was going to say, Gamey started from the back in the first 3 laps before that little incident. He was up to 14th. So he had a belter of a start.
Petter Solheim on the back of Racer, going aggressively to the inside. Petter Solheim trying to make a move. There seems to be a bit of lag in the lobby now. I'm not sure what's happening. It might be due to Ganic's internet. It might be down to my internet. Who knows? But Petter Solheim under the hunt of the Ferrari. McLaren fighting Ferrari. Please, can we have this battle this year? Please? Anyone?
There's currently a battle for position going in at 4th and 5th between Racer and Petter
Solheim. Yeah, Petter Solheim.
Yes, thank you.
It's alright. It's a difficult name to master. It took me about 3 seasons to get it right.
Yeah, yes.
Everyone pushing hard, isn't it? Gaming is pit lane, non-surprisingly.
On the 5th place Honda would have had DRS on him, but he didn't have enough area to do it in.
Well, speaking of DRS, here's Twan, Zippo, and Dai fighting now for P12. Twan trying to go round the outside of the Haas, and the Haas not letting him through. And Zippo, contact as Twan spins! It's lighting up the tyres on the curb, running into the side of Zippo as he span round, as Zippo almost going to the wall, and now Twan's come off worse. He's down into P15 now, and with a broken front wing. And Ganic once again going up into P1 on my screen.
I don't think that was a good idea for Twan, because his super softs are going to let... can't speak this afternoon. I'm not going to last as long as everyone else. Because...
Yes.
Predicted around here.
What?
Around here, super softs are predicted about 11 laps, and then come on. Then the softs will last the rest of the race.
It doesn't help that they changed the tyre colours this season in 2019 Formula 1, does it? Because it's really frustrating when you're trying to get it right. But now, up at the top, there is a battle. Yarman's starting to catch back up to gold colours. And then Petter Solheim actually making a move on Racer in the background. He has not been able to make the move stick, and Racer doing a good job in P4, trying to hold off the driver behind. This time Fletcher Boy on Farfber, trying to go around the outside of the Renault on the ultra soft tyres. He has made it stick, and he locks up a little bit on the inside. And now Farfber right alongside him. He's going to try and hold it around the outside. Oh, big slides from Fletcher. Oh, they're kissing each other, aren't they? It's like they're driving a touring car versus Formula 1.
Yes, it looks like they could turn a bit immediate with each other.
Yes. very intimate between the Renault and the Mercedes. Gamey
Oh,
things
he's
going
gone
to
for a
stop
third
and go
bomb on the
penalty.
inside.
That's a little bit. That's very uncultured from the season 1 constructor champion. But look at that, trying to go around the
Come on,
outside.
Fletcher,
He
keep it
has
clean, mate.
done it. I think Farper isn't going to be happy with it, to be honest. And God
Arthur's going to
Colours,
have DRS.
he is going to have DRS now on board with the Renault. A little bit of snaking from the back of that Mercedes. He tries to get it all turned in. Now down the inside goes Farper. The
Arthur's
French
gone on the
car.
inside.
Look at that. He's just trying his
Easy.
hardest to get through. This Gannick thing
but
is not going to get
Farper's-
old right now on stream. It really is going to drive me insane for the rest of the stream.
Farper's
It's not
going to
his
have
fault.
the initial lappage.
Gamey's gone. In sector 1, Gamey thinks is gone from the race. So Renault's day going badly now. Seems yellow flags. Is this where Alexander Albon he's left the session? No, it's further round. Ooh, I don't know what to think of that one. But now under pressure.
Just got for a second penalty.
Under pressure from the Nell down the inside. Is there going to be contact here? Lee leaving him an absolute ton of room, a lot more than Farfra left him. Oh, that Mercedes really is not enjoying itself right now, is it?
Nope. His setup is way too wrong for this track. I think he might still have a wet setup on.
He's trying to find it as Gannick once again goes into P1. Do excuse that. It's going to get really frustrating for me as well, trying to work out where the battles are on track. There has been a scuff of grass from the following McLaren of TJ, and here comes Hinkle at full power. He's going to try and get through past that McLaren Renault. Very different engines and all of this. 2 Mercedes versus 2 Renaults in this 4-car battle. And Racer losing in position to Peter Solheim. Not yet, though. Racer trying to make the move on the outside, and now Mike Bundy is hunting.
I'm just going to put something out here, because people who are on the softs, they're going to have more of the initial gap when the people on the supers, on the ultras, are going to pit. Because the softs, initially around here, last for about 18, 19 laps.
Yarman has lagged out of the session. Yarman has dropped to P3 after lagging out, and now Mike Bundy on board with the fellow Mercedes driver on his way into
Yellow's in
P5.
sector 3. Yellow's in sector 3.
That is down to, trying to work out who that is. I don't know. It might be down to Fletcher Boy in the pit lane. But now
Fletcher Boy is now on the softs.
Sector 1, the yellow flag is down to the slow-moving car of Yarman, and his internet playing him absolute havoc in the first race of the season.
Not a good start for this for Yarman in GP2, but you know, it can only get better from here or worse.
Gaming things complaining of lag, mate. I know it's frustrating, but save your footage and we'll try and get it sorted as quickly as possible. Gannick losing a position. Have I reconnected to him? Where's Gannick on track for you?
18th.
Okay, no, not reconnected with him. I really hoped.
Yeah, at the moment, Gannick is fighting with Vespa in the Sauber.
See, I've got Vespa starting with Cattle.
Cater in 16th.
Cattle, who's losing his rear end quite regularly there. Down the inside goes Festa on stream. Contact there, sending the racing point higher up. Oh, it's Zippo. No, isn't. What's happening here? Something's happening as Yarman lags out a little bit. Yeah, TJ, the Season 3 champion, into pit lane, going into his new McLaren box. Hopefully he doesn't miss it. No, he does get it in, all nice and smoothish.
This is going to bring TJ out in, I would say, 14th?
Why has he stopped? There he goes, deployed. Finally, after sitting there for a while. I'm not sure if he was writing a message or something, but that was very slow.
No, TJ comes out in 13th behind Fletcher Boy. This is going to be an interesting battle now.
Well, right now, the Toro Rossos are up there in P1. At P1 and 2, they're up there, and it's going to be interesting to see who France Toss favours. Remember, Electro Dan is on the hardest compound of tyres versus Gold Colours, who isn't. So maybe he's going to say, right, Gold Colours, you're going to come in early and let Dan through. Obviously, we'll be speaking to all of these guys at the end of the race, provided they have microphones. And we'll be seeing Racer now losing a position to Mike Bundy in the background. Mike Bundy trying to get it round the outside. Now they go side by side into the second left-hander. Still side by side. Ferrari and Mercedes battling. We've seen this battle many times. 95 just trying to find the moment. He's not Randy McQueen. Go on.
Your prediction was right. God has come in for new tyres.
I was just on the phone to Franz Toss. Now, Racer trying to aggressively defend from Bundy. I know Bundy very well. The man with the Rich Energy helmet is trying to get his way through. DRS open on this car. The Mercedes trying to find an inch. He wants an inch so he can have a mile. Sector 3, the yellow flag still there. Contact somewhere.
Vespa. I saw it literally a second ago.
There you see Bundy into P3, finally making a move, and Gannick down into. Oh, this is getting really frustrating. Again, it's not Gannick's fault, it's not my fault, it's just the game's fault that we use this. Now Zippo passing through the ghost of Yaman's past. Hopefully he can reboot his internet and get here quickly, but remember we only have 30 laps of the race to go. Now Lee now trying to go around the outside of Fletcher. Fletcher already starts. Fletcher getting it very wrong. And he's still trying to hold it around the outside. Whoa, that car, no traction, is very twitchy. That Mercedes is so loose. It's like looking at Antonio Giovinazzi. But getting a 5 second stop and go penalty.
I'll feel like in the next couple of laps, if Lee and Fletcher isn't careful, they're going to end up like Vettel and Kubica in 2009.
Strong reference there. Very strong reference. Gold star for you. Fester leaving the session, I think that is either out of frustration or by accident. I hope it's by accident, because if he wanted to if he had enough of the race, he should have retired.
3 second time penalty
for the race leader, which will drop him into P2. Peterson in P1 net right now, but you see Fletch is just struggling to stay. Well, no, he's not struggling. He's staying with Lee. It's just all down to the traction. He's not got any in those cars, have they?
No, but Fletcher is going to have DRS against Lee, though.
Fletcher's so quick in a straight line, but he keeps doing that.
Fletcher's just collided with the wall. That's not going to help him and his downforce.
But look at that. The top 3, arguably from last season, in a very different order. With T. Jonas in P13, Lienel in P11, and Farfra all the way up in P5. So Farfra seems to have done the most preparation. Maybe Renault's got the best car this season in SFR. Remember, same spec as last season, but these cars will be interested to see what the Renault team has done with it.
It's with the car. It's about setup and the driver. It's not about the single person.
It's all interested, and now. Round the outside, will go Fletcher Boy, attempted to make the move stick. Oh, that's the wrong way. Oh, contact though. There was contact, and it's starting to affect them. They're fighting heavily. Would you say these two need to calm down at this point? Because remember, Lee's on younger tyres.
They do need to calm down. If this is going to end badly for one of them, if they do not calm it down sooner.
Well, we know Lee and Josh, these two very, very good friends. The number 6 Mercedes, no, not Nico Rosberg, it is Josh Fletcher. And he's trying to get round, trying to pass Lee somewhere. And Lee, just off the corners, is so much quicker because of the locking on it. And I think Fletcher's got something wrong with that car.
Yeah, I think Fletcher might have too much. I think Fletcher might have...
Whoa, he's round! He's round! He's still got it! But those tyres are going to be absolutely destroyed!
Bloody hell. He's held up.
That was,
but
again,
Fletcher
save of the weekend.
Still in DRS range.
Well, speaking of who else is in DRS range, let's have a look at the top fight, because Peter Solheim down the inside, trying to go for the lead of the Grand Prix. There's a big gap, and Jan getting the better run on the outside. Now Peter Solheim, eyes forwards, eyes on stalks for the Norwegian driver, trying to get close up to the back of Electro Dan. Electro Dan pulling into pit lane though, and now Peter Solheim released into the lead.
This is probably going to bring Electro Dan down into 5th place with this pit stop.
Racer as well pitting. But mistake from Lienel, back with the Lienel and Fletcher Boy battle. Mistake from him, skimming the grass, turning his Red Bull into a lawnmower. Now down the inside goes Fletcher Boy, hitting the inside curb, sliding, and look who's coming. The champion is on their backs.
Yep, TJ is actually gaining him pretty fast. He's going to have DRS on both of these guys. Coming down in after T2. And then after 7 and 8 down into turn 9.
Right now, Lee getting a better run out the final corner. He has got the run on Fletch. And Fletch is now trying to chase after him. T. John is struggling in that McLaren to adapt to new brakes. Down the inside, though, goes Fletcher boy. He's still there, locking up.
Ooh.
Sector 3, yellow
Sector
flag.
3.
I think that's... I can't tell who that is because it's all gone red. But there
Smelly
is...
Badger, Smelly Badger. He
Is he round?
the wall again. No,
right.
He's still on track. He's still going forward.
So now you see Fletcher boy again chasing after Lee's rear tail. Trying to go around the outside at this point. He's got the traction. Smelly Badger, a 5 second stop to go penalty. Down the outside goes, and he's had enough. Smelly Badger being retired from the race. But the other Red Bull has now lost 10th position to Fletcher boy. And now Lee is going to be hunting Mike Bundy into pit lane.
If you look very closely, TJ is trying to sniff for that 10th place for that last point.
Well, I tell you now, Lee Nell's going to want to go for it as well. Fletch making a mistake, and now Lee down the inside. Red Bull's day trying to get better. Oh, bigger contact now. 1 stop, 2 stop punches from Fletch. He's not giving us up, is he?
No, I suggest you two guys stop fighting this early. Wait until later on in the race where it counts.
It does. It feels like we're going for ages, but it's only lap 13.
Feel like it. Oh, SFR League. No, trying not for the bomb into turn 1. But he's losing traction onto Vespa. TJ might have DRS on. Yes, he has DRS on Lee, but he's not going to try the dive bomb into 2.
He's considering it. Remember, Lee and TJ were in a straight fight as Lee makes a big mistake. He's riding the curb. Lee has unfortunately ridden the curb. He almost beats the car. I think he had a snap of oversteer, but just shunt him onto the curb and he had no traction.
My main question is, with Lee being in a Red Bull, how much Red Bull has he drunk to give him wings? Because he did not. He did not lose any traction over that curb at all.
Tell you what, at least he didn't have Daniel Ricciardo's level of as everything goes red for me, trying to find out someone to watch. Van Solheim comes into pit lane, and oh, there is a haste of Gannick as Himcar retires in sector 3. Yeah, I'm getting so much lag in the pit lane right now, but the race leader is now Farfra, so Himcar is out of this race. I was hoping for a safety car there to see if it reset everything. So Festa out of this Grand Prix, Yarman out of this Grand Prix as well.
Petroheim has just come into the pits with a new pair of softs, so he's gonna have the advantage for God Colours and Electro Dan on pace.
He'll have the pace, but he's got to get through them, remember. We know the Toro Rosso's good pairing, know what they want to do, and they want to win races, and right now they're set in a good position. P1 and 3 net position. We're just waiting and seeing what they can do. See if they can carry on from the legacy that Lee and what was his name? Zippo, that's it, left them in season 3.
Yep. At the moment, our closest fight is for 3rd, and that's with Electro and JB. Can you say the name?
Peter Solheim.
Yes, fine. Yes, him.
God Colours again with another time penalty. It's alright, if you need to do anything, just call him Pedder or just Solheim. But Pedder just works.
Pedder?
Yeah.
He just went wide through turn 7, 8, losing a bit of time to Electro Dan's.
Completely ignore what just happened on stream there, because that was not the real Gannick. That was a disconnected car, so I have no idea what Gannick's up to right now.
I can describe that for you right now.
We got the radio broadcast of Gannick.
Turn 3. Just coming down to turn 3. That's what he's doing right now. He's on 1 lap old supers.
So serious lag in the lobby today was mainly from me, I think.
Oh,
DRS open on the back of
Stan.
Are they not?
Gannick's going for the ballsy move. He's on the ultras.
Oh. So we'll close Radio Gannick and we'll join in with him later again.
Yep.
I wonder.
Going back to Gannick later.
So we'll see everyone happen. Yarman. So from Festa, Yarman are out of this race. Gannick is still in this race, but we'll have to have Collins here check in on him for me. But Daibu's now with a time penalty, lap 15 after 29.
That's gonna put Daibush about 8 seconds ahead of SFR Zippo. Daibush has to now increase his gap to 14 seconds to keep that 10th place.
But Dai hasn't stopped in a while, so he's going to be putting his pit lane once more. The super soft tyres will not last him that long.
But I think Dye actually started on the soft tyres.
Take a look at who stopped. Everyone barring Farfra has stopped at least once in the race. So here's your race leader, that is Farfra, but we're going to leave him and go and have a look at the battle for the net lead, and that's Gold Colours, Peter Solheim and Electro Dan. Maybe there's been a call for the team saying, okay, we want Gold Colours to slow down Petter, and then Dan to get into P2, or possibly into P1.
If that would happen, that would be a little bit controversial for the
Well,
beginning
teammates,
of
so they're allowed
GP2.
to. And teammates are allowed to. It'd be more controversial if they weren't teammates and they were allowed to do that.
Yeah, I know, but they're trying to hold up a McLaren.
Yeah, but to increase the teammate behind to pass. That's the thing. It's just basic team tactics is what it is. It's just lift off a little bit. I've had it a few times. I had someone actually call it for me saying, just do me a favour, slow down the driver behind you as I was under a blue flags. So, it's not an uncalled for move. Sometimes it's just what happens. But now, Peter Solheim has got the run on Gold Colours. They're now receiving a time penalty. And that's... Look at that, the gap they've got on Dan now. Dan's tyre's younger, but something's definitely broken on that car for a second. He must have made a mistake.
I'm not currently on board with Dan. I am actually watching Lee come through 7 and 8. He actually looks pretty good.
Oh, Peter Solheim! Excitedly accelerating on the curb and then sliding towards the wall. Now, Gold Colours has to go defensive, and Peter Solheim trying to go round the outside for the net race lead has to abandon the move. He was close, but no cigar yet. DRS open once more. He's got not much in his tank for ERS, so he's got to try and build up that power again and then blast out of it. And then a little bit, that could possibly be desync or a little bit of a brake check there from Gold Colours. I'm not sure, I can't call it right now.
Yep. Because in this sector before the Pirelli Bridge, there has been quite a few incidents in the last decade. 2014 with Kobayashi, 2009 with Vettel and Kubica, and the recent one was with Alonso in 2016 with Gutierrez.
Yeah.
So there can be a few mistakes going there when you're not concentrating.
Pop quiz with that one, because I'm mean, I like to do this. What was Gutierrez's race number that year? That can go to anyone in the chat as well. I know it.
I can't remember.
Anyone in the chat that can guess what Gutierrez's last race number was in Formula 1 without using Google, I will award you a smidgen of a nice mention on stream, because I'm cheap and I don't have anything. But the race leader is in, and now this battle will actually go for P1. And this time, Peter Solheim has got a better run. He is now slipping into the inside. He's got the run. He's ahead of Gold Colours. Gold Colours had to concede the position as Solheim slips into P1. Now he's just going to conserve his power and go again as Gold Colours starts to close in on the McLaren.
This is going to be very interesting for the end of the race. Because any of them have... I don't think any of them has actually got time penalties. So
Peter Solheim does have time penalties. Farfra retiring. Let's have a look if we can catch up to Farfra. Where is he? Is this start finish straight? He might be in the pit lane. We'll have a look. Yeah, it looks like he was in pit lane. So back up to top with the... Lots of questions there. Go
on. Under a second each. They're all going to have DRS apart from Petter because he is race leader.
Well, now looking at Petter's teammate T. Jonas getting it a little bit on the curve. That McLaren still a very different fit to the Alfa Romeo that he was driving last season that he took the championship with. Now fighting with Lee, and Lee slipping away as always in that Red Bull. It seems to be so much quicker, and T. Jonas struggling to get his car right. But now the Toro Rossos are going to begin the fight.
I'm gonna give a little with the people at the bottom. Johan has finally been released out of the pits after being there for 3 laps. Vesper is 2 minutes 24 and 2 laps down. But Ganek, he is 14.8 seconds behind Oh, TJ's gone.
Oh, see, Jonas retiring. Champion is out of the session. McLaren struggling as much as they did last season.
I think that would be down in
Diversity time
on the main
penalty.
straight. Main straight.
Let's have a look. So he's ran it up on the curb like Peter Solheim has and hasn't caught it. See Jonas being out of this race. Not the way to start his Season 3 championship.
Dibush is in the pit. He has just put on a set of super softs. 10 laps to go on a pair of supers.
Hegloof is not going to have his brother on the podium with him. So Hegloof, you can now take the win there for this week and say that you're the better one of the brothers. Yeah, I can't say your last name, Hegloof. I do apologise, but I know that Hal is going to be frustrated at that one.
Going back to the battle in second and third, Electro Dan is going to have DRS on God's colours. Is he going to actually stick the move coming down into T1? No, but he's going to have DRS on him again through turn 2 down to turn 3.
No call from Franz Tost saying get out the way, but now Dan's going for a move on his teammate, trying to go around the outside. He's having a kiss. Oh, and there's a Haas in the wall. That's not real though. Completely ignore that Haas.
Godcolor literally has just survived that. He pushed Dan out, and Dan has still got better traction coming through to turn 6.
Remember, Dan's on much younger tyres at this point, so maybe Godcolor's tyres are starting to feel it already. Here's Twan. Twan on the back of Zippo. Considering it, contact, nothing major there, but enough to give a nice pit lane start.
Twan has DRS, and they're both on same lap tyres.
That is a straight battle there for the Racing Point. Had to remember the name of the car there for a second. And the Ferrari.
Yep, the two SFR guys, they are battling. They are 0.281 seconds between each other. So after 7 and 8.
Back with the Toro Rossos in T1. Dan trying to find a way past his teammate. Gold Colours, at least he spells colours right, trying to get his way into the record books for another top 2 finish for the Toro Rosso team. Excuse me.
Tron on the outside for turn 4. Not too far behind, coming around to turn 5.
Down the inside goes Twan, trying to make it move on Zippo. Zippo respectfully leaving them the gap. And then down the inside, and Twan finally making a move on the Ferrari.
Good racing from these lot. Very good, very clean at the moment. But we've only got 8 laps of the Grand Prix remaining.
Really is going to get interesting as the race goes on. Peter Solheim has checked out to the top 3 seconds is the gap, but that's mainly because Dan is fighting and Bundy is closing.
Yep, with Twain, Zippo is going to have DRS on Twain to see if he is going to get him. No, and Debussy has just put in the fastest lap of the race.
So Mr. Jones down in P10 looking to improve on that second position. And that P10, sorry, I know Di very well, but he's got a gap around him. He's got to start improving. Do excuse Ganak as he drops up to P8. Hopefully that will improve. As the season goes on, DRS opening on Electro Dan. Again, going to try and make the move on his teammate. These two battling hard.
With Electro Dan, I would have given the team orders to Godcolor to let Dan through because he is the quicker driver at the moment.
He is trying to go around the outside aggressively. He's trying to make his move, trying to make the point there to Franz Tost, saying, "Get out the way!" Side by side, he's running him up onto the curb, and there's contact there. Rule number 1 of a racing team is never hit your teammate. Because look, that's just shaved 5 tenths off Bundy's time, and Bundy's on his way, and he's on younger tyres than both of these guys.
Well, Bundy is directly a second behind the 2 Toro Rossos.
This battle is drawing in. So at this point, you've got to think the team's got to create the call, get out of the way, and let Dan through. It's the first race of the season. Far from leaving the session, not happy with the
lag, I think.
Yeah, no, he crashed. Remember?
Oh yeah. Johan is somehow still in the race, but he's 7.5 minutes behind everyone else.
He's ghosted, so we will not count that as a finisher. He hasn't completed the race distance or hit the 90% rule. Electro Dan once more on the back of his teammate, and Mike Bundy on the back of these two. So the choice is now, I think, honestly, at this point, I think Dan slowed down to allow Gold Colours to stay in P2 because there's now a bigger gap than there could have been. Oh, rain! It's raining!
Wait, what is it?
Go on board with the car.
I'm not seeing specks of rain.
I am seeing specks of rain, so it might just clip in with you in a minute, but it is raining on track. The last couple of laps of this race is going to get really entertaining with the rain coming down here in Australia. And Gold Colours has made a mistake. This time, Dan's going to make a move around the outside. It hasn't worked. This has just drawn Bundy, and Bundy's just the other thing. He's a silver shark. I'm a silver shark and coming.
If I was Dan, I would try and make a move before the rain fully hits, before the end of the race.
We know Peter Solheim struggles in the rain.
Mike is going to get the advantage on both Toro Rossos because Mike has the speed against them two. He's going to have DRS, and he is feisty for a podium.
Obviously, we've seen drivers push hard, but I know for a fact that some drivers here do not enjoy the wet. Mike is actually one of them. I don't know how the Toro Rossos are, but I know for a fact that Mike doesn't enjoy the wet as much as he can because he wants to get ahead of them and try and make his race his own. The 19 car, Electro Dan straight ahead of him.
Yep.
Gold Colours is struggling on traction now. Look at the way he's struggling on traction out of corners.
Yeah, that is a little bit difficult.
Gold Colours making the move, sitting in the middle of a track. Now round the outside goes Electro Dan, trying to make a move. There is no contact. There might have been a little bit of a touch of contact. There's a hazard wall. That's not real. Once more, that's disconnected.
Bundy has got the run on both of them.
Completely blocked the track, the Toro Rossos did, so they must, arguably you can say they're calling this, but at the same time it's such a risk to drive these cars like that. And now Bundy is on the hunt. Dive with a time penalty once more. Sorry, I'm laughing at TJ what he put in the chat. He said his entire family walked in front of the TV at once, that's why he crashed.
Ooh.
That's why I do mine in my room.
Gold Colour got a 3-second penalty. He's going to end behind Mike now.
I'm not sure if Bundy has a penalty himself, but Bundy might have slowed down to try and affect that. Remember, not long left of this Grand Prix now, but these drivers are still going to go absolutely for it, and with the rain hitting, the guys are going to be turning down their engines a little bit because they know they can't run full power in these conditions.
Mike's going to have DRS coming into turn 10.
He's got to clear 11. These guys, doesn't he? He has a potential of P2 right now.
Yeah. Coming into 12. 13. Is he going to have DRS? Obviously he is. Is he going to use it to the most?
He'll try and make a move on Gold Colours as quickly as he can. Gold Colours got no traction whatsoever. And now Bundy down the inside for P3. And he makes the move stick.
He's got third. But God is going to have DRS. Also Bundy.
Why is Fletcher? Yeah, Fletcher is running no assist, so he has moved down to the GP2 division. And to be fair, right now he fits right in with these guys on pace-wise and racecraft-wise. But Gold Colours his tyres. I think his chance of the podium is done for tonight, barring any late race incidents. Racer looking to make a good debut for Ferrari. It's such a tight race at the top, isn't it?
Very. You cannot get closer.
But 9 seconds separating Peter Solheim and Electro Dan as the rain is still coming down here in Australia. And Electro Dan definitely, you tell you what, Gold Colours might be back on the podium with that penalty.
It depends on if the people behind them has penalties.
It will be interesting. Now Mike Bundy on the attack. His Silver Shark Mercedes, as I'm going to nickname it, is coming through. I still prefer the new Mercedes with the grey halo, but that's just me. The Dive actually on the back of Zippo, so that's going to get interesting as well as the race goes on. We'll just stick with Mike Bundy right now, though, and we'll have a look at Di in a second.
God has DRS, he has just used it now. A bit too late for the activation.
No.
But he is going to have DRS down to turn 3. No, he has not done it.
Here's a risk and a
Down into
half.
turn
Die trying to go
4.
round the outside of Zippo. Do excuse me. Ganik's got the fastest lap of the race right now. And then Daivu slipping through in the fast chicane into P10.
Yeah, Ganik has the fastest lap of the race because he is currently on the ultra softs, which is a bit of a ballsy move. The rain coming down.
Well, once again, we are not doing the fastest lap point. We're keeping track of it, but we're not doing the fastest lap point this season SFR. That rule will come in the 2019 game, as we will find it so much easier to handle as the race goes on, like with it actually having a graphic, so we'll know who got it, rather than having to track through and watch like all the footage of the race, you know?
Yeah.
Now, hunting is Bundy. Go on.
JB, if you actually look, when the cars are coming through turn 1, you can see the drops coming down harder than it was 5 minutes ago.
It is definitely starting to get wetter on track, and I think drivers, luckily, are still having to drive in the same way. No calls for the intermediate tyres. Let's be honest, it's that late in the race, I wouldn't even consider going to it. I'd risk staying out on the softs. This time, Bundy making a very ballsy move into T1, and it's aggressively moving, I can't speak, has made the move stick.
Aggressively.
That's it. Dan getting the move stick. Trying to go around the outside though, trying to aggressively get it moving, and then Gold Colours is closing in as well. But Bundy's ahead, and Bundy, knowing him, he'll just disappear now for a bit.
Yeah, Bundy is probably now going to try and run to... Ganik has just retired.
So Ganik out of the Grand Prix, alongside Fefster and Yarman, as well as a few other drivers, such as him, Carl, Farthborough, Smelly Badger and Gamey Things. T. Jonas as well, going to bring that up every day of the life. But what a way to start the season right now. We're heading on to the penultimate lap of the Grand Prix, I know that.
Just a reminder for the people who are out are Ganik, TJ, Farthborough, Himcar, Smelly Badger and Gamey Things.
Not to mention Yarman and Fefster, who are not going to be classified finishers because they didn't race the race distance.
Yes, but on my screen they're still fully running.
Yeah, they're still fully running, but they're ghosts. So,
true.
Equivalency of that is if I was racing, I could just put it into pause mode and then go off, do some housework, come back and do like the last lap. You know?
Yeah.
Depends on what AI setting we're running. I can't remember what we're running, because I've lost the chat on my tablet. Give me a second. Ooh, that is odd that I've lost the chat that way.
Yeah, the two Toro Rossos have opened up a bit of a gap. They are not fighting for position anymore because they know how big the penalties are.
Do excuse me for a second, I have lost the chat on my tablet, so I'll have to boost up Zippo getting a time penalty. But right now, Peter Solheim on the penultimate lap of the Grand Prix, he's just disappeared. He's checked out, isn't he?
Yeah, he said, F this shit, I'm out.
Cattle also making that same statement now in the rain, as burying himself into the wall.
No VSC.
No VSC. The marshal's able to remove that car, and chat is down on my tablet still, so I'm going to try and bring it up on my phone. Do excuse me, as I go through several different methods of changing it all round.
Yep, whilst you are doing that, I will do a little rundown on the last lap. At the moment, it is Pada by 10 seconds to Mike. Then in third is Electro, fourth Dodd, fifth Racer, sixth is Fletcher, seventh is SFR Lee, eighth is Twain, ninth is Debush, 10th is Zippo. And that is the remaining people left in the race on the last lap.
Well, it'll be really interesting as we get to the last lap of the Grand Prix. Obviously, the rain starting to mute the race now. 10 seconds is the gap at the top of the field. And we'll keep an eye on...
And Racer just got a 3-second time penalty.
I don't think it'll affect him, unless he's got... because Fletcher's got at least 6 himself. But the 69 for our McLaren, that's it, is up in P1. Do excuse me though, guys. I cannot see the chat right now, so if you're asking me questions, I can't answer it. But Peter Solheim is coming through the final sector now. He's a comfortable all race from having a wet qualifying session and coming up here. He's had a very good race, hasn't he?
He has done so well during this race. He has led it, he has controlled it. He's basically a 2015 Mercedes.
So Petter Solheim will strike first when the iron is hot. Weaving here. McLaren take victory in round 1 here in Australia. And there he is. P1 for Petter Solheim as the AI takes control. Mike Bundy comes across the line in P2. With Toro Rosso is on the podium. No, it's Electro Dan.
Yeah, Mike. Yes. Padda first. Mike second. Electro Dan third.
Those are the drivers we'll be chatting to at the end of the race. And 5th is Racer 555. And Fletch settling for 6th, destroying his tyre, which does aggravate me when drivers do that on the start. Linnell doing exactly the same thing, a little bit early though this time.
Demolition Derby.
I do wish drivers wouldn't do that. I really do. I'm the one that has to now coordinate the teams to repair. I've got to coordinate the teams now to repair those cars for the Premier Division.
Just stick a bit of Gorilla Glue on there. That'll be fine. There's
P1 and P2 now having a nice moment together. Daibush in P10, in P8, just take down the VI there. Look at that.
Yep.
Petter Solheim in P1 here tonight, and we'll be chatting to him, Mike Bundy, and Electro Dan after the podium celebrations.
That race was absolutely insane all the way through turn 1, first lap, last turn, last lap. That was absolute chaos. Chaos in a good way. You could have not got any closer than that.
So one Norwegian wins the championship last season, and Norway getting off to a good start here with McLaren's Petter Solheim winning in here in Australia. Here are the reviews of finishing positions barring any podium interviews. P1 is Petter Solheim, Mike Bundy is P2, and Electro Dan finished out the podium in P3. Gokul is in P4, and Facer 555 is in P5, Fletcher is in P6, and Linnell is in P7. Twan is in P8, Daibush is in P9, and Zippo was in P10. The drivers who did not finish this race are Fester, Cattle, Gannick, Yarham, G. Jonas, Farfbrook, Himcarl, Smelly Badger, and Gamey Things, who unfortunately could not make the race distance.
Sad. That is sad, but you know, it can happen.
Definitely so. Obviously, I can't see the chat right now on the screen, so I'll try and get that up as I go to bring drivers in to the podium interviews. Let's see if I can get the chat up now, because it seemed to just get errors. I've got the chat back. Got the chat back now. All right, so we'll get them into the podium interviews now. We're looking for who are you? Bundy. There we go. Excuse me as I'm doing it off this today. So screen will go blue for a moment. Invite to Mike Bundy sent. Now let's try and get who we're looking for. Dan. Hopefully Dan has a microphone. And then we're looking for Petter Solheim, the race winner. Where are you, Petter? There you are. So we shall wait and see for the drivers, see who will be joining us tonight on the interviews, and we're going to sit here and just wait for a moment. Well, already Bundy the Rabbit has joined me. So with Electro Dan, we'll just wait for the wait to see if Petter Solheim jumps in. But we'll just make sure quickly. Dan, Mike, have you got your voices set to share?
Yes.
Brilliant. Yeah, Twan, I'll attempt to say that. Just wait and see if Petter Solheim has joined us. Just checking. Okay, whoever's playing YouTube, do you mind just turning that down for a second, please? All right. So we'll just check with you, Penner. Have you got your voice set to share?
Hello?
Got your voice set to share, mate?
Yep.
Brilliant. We'll leave you there for a second, and we'll start straight with Electro Dan. Mate, podium on debut here in for season 4. How's that? Just take us through it. I mean, you were battling with your teammate quite a lot through that race. So, when the rain hit, did you know the race was over? Or did you think that, I can still challenge for a higher podium position? So, all in all, you enjoyed your first race for Toro Rosso then? Apparently, they can't hear you, Dan. The viewers on the stream. All right, so if you can get your voice set to share, just check that's all right. What we'll do, we'll come back to you at the end of the interviews. All right. So, moving up to Mike. P2, you happy with that one?
Yeah, I mean, it was a chaotic race, to be honest. It was quite a difficult race as well.
Just take us through that, mate. How did the race sort of fall into your hands for P2?
Well, the main reason is because the two Toro Rossos were battling so much I could catch them. I had a good battle with Racer as well. It was quite difficult to get past him. So, yeah. But Pedder was super quick. I couldn't get anywhere near him.
So, do you feel like you enjoyed your foray into Mercedes territory with it being a championship winning team? You want to push that into winning a championship this year, or do you think that you're going to try and just make each race as it comes?
Take each race as it comes. It's only the first race after all. It's not like it's the last race of the season.
Well,
so,
I'm a pundit. I've got to do it this way. Well, so next week off to Bahrain. Excited for the first race of the season?
Yeah, I mean it's a lot easier track than Australia. Australia is quite difficult to get right lap in, lap out. So yeah, it should be a tighter field.
I'm happy I'm up here in the cob spot.
Oh, I'll tell you, I need a drink. My mouth is so dry.
Well, you know what? We'll let you go off and get one. Isn't the champagne good enough? We'll let you go off and get one quickly as we head over to Pedder. Mate, one big question for you. Have you got a Mercedes engine stored in the back of that McLaren with a little Renault badge stuck onto it, or is it still a Renault engine?
No, I changed to Mercedes because I thought that I was easier to go quicker, so I changed it yesterday.
How are you doing, mate? Are you enjoying your foray into McLaren?
Yeah, it was a great race. I felt that I had a pace, but in the first lap, my brake just failed, and I went straight into the grass. And then after that, I had to fight really hard to come past the Racer because it was defending so well.
So, anything else that could have gone better that race? Anything at all?
What?
Do you think anything could have gone better in that race at all, or would you rather have that race again?
No, it must have been the time penalties. I got 6-second time penalties, so I just had to push to get away from the others. So if I can drive again, I would definitely not catch so much.
Yes, the gap at the top 6 seconds is clearly affecting your 10-second gap. So moving over to it, you're leading the championship now as you've won the Grand Prix. Are you going to try and extend that come to Bahrain, or are you going to just take Bahrain as a completely different race?
I don't know really. I haven't done so much practice on Bahrain, so I have to get to know the track a little better before I can say anything. But I hope to extend my championship lead after Bahrain. But of course, it would be a hard race and a very tough one, so I will just try.
All right, so congratulations to you, mate. We'll just jump back down to Dan quickly. Dan, is your voice set to share now? All right, we'll check. Give me a second, and I'll check. Sounds like it isn't. What I'll do, I'll run through it quickly with you. That is, if you just hold the share button for me, mate. Then go down to sharing and broadcast settings. You'll find audio sharing settings. Then all 3 boxes have to be ticked. It's alright. Easily done. Alright, so you should be back with us. And so we'll check now. We'll just go through it again. You got a podium on your first race in season 4. You made your debut last season, but now you're a quote-unquote full driver. Are you happy with this? You comfortable in the Toro Rosso squad? So with that, will you go back to the garage and have a nice conversation with him saying, look, mate, if I'm clearly faster, let me out the way? Or are you going to say, well, because it's the first race of the season, you want to keep battling with him? Well, coming into Bahrain next week, are you excited for the Bahrain Grand Prix? All right. So what we'll do, we'll let the podium celebrators go off and have a nice drink of their own that isn't champagne, because, you know, that we couldn't afford real champagne because, you know, we bought Grand Prix cars. So they had to have imitation fizzy water. But so back to you, Harley, mate. That race had everything. A battle for the lead, battling teammates, crashes, no safety car though. How was that?
It was a thrill ride.
Really was. So apologies there, we couldn't hear Dan. So what we'll do, we'll attempt to have a word with him over the next few weeks and all that again. But what Dan essentially said was that he was happy with his teammate. Could have gone another way if he'd passed his teammate sooner, but he's going to keep battling him, unlike using team orders this early in the season. Ferrari, please learn. And he's happy with 3rd place, and he's going to hopefully improve on that position. But yes, Harley, it was a brilliant race. Just think, any way it could have gone, couldn't it?
Yeah, it could have gone like GP3 S3 first lap safety car, but it didn't.
It definitely was entertaining. So, what's next for SFR? Well, tomorrow we're back here in Australia still. You know, these because we've got 3 divisions now, the flights are so much longer, so I end up just staying in Australia most of the time. So we'll be in Australia for the final time to see the Premier Divisions go for lights out there in that division, and I'll be joined tomorrow on stream by Twan. He'll have his debut for SFR Comms, and we'll see what he can do, so I can bully him for being in a pink car. I love that car. But yes, thank you to Collins for joining me for tonight. I think it was a really interesting time, and I hope you enjoyed your time on commentary.
I blood have as well. It's been actually quite fun.
Yeah, it has been a brilliant race. So what we'll do, if you're not willing to join us for the Premier Division, well, we'll be seeing you next week for Bahrain, which will be starting on Tuesday. We'll have the GP3 driver, so we'll be seeing Harley in his Alfa Romeo go slipping and sliding through the desert air, and then we'll be seeing everyone else have a try at that track as well. So my name is JB, Captain Commentator is ready to go to bed now, and I will see you all next time for the next stream. Have a very good night, folks, and ta-ra.